Did you take one off?
Yeah. There we go. All right. I took off the Indie Princess her Twitter. It was
okay.
Yeah. That's fixed now. Hey, Glenn Fleming in the house.
There we are.
Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, it should be live on YouTube
Morning,
now.
Glenn. He says, hey you guys, editing my Kirby film, listening to you. But all I've got on my screen is a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Yep. You know, because we're having a rough time waking up. So
we start the Thursday show.
Yeah. You know, yes, but moral of the story though, your media choices is not indicative of your moral choices.
Yeah.
Good luck, John. I'm sure you don't need it, but he's off for a second shot today.
Well, yeah.
Pop says nope. Says waking up to listen. Good morning. Thanks.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks, John. Welcome aboard. Joe, from the desk of a small press publisher. Yes, back to your regular broadcast day.
Well,
as regular broadcast day.
As regular as we're going to be right now, I guess.
We know the coffee's caffeinated. That much we know.
Or we weren't on one of our regular places. I wasn't.
Oh, got it. Have it on the YouTubes now. Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Situation's fixed. Thank you, everybody. Welcome aboard. You're just in time. We're going to run the opening. Ready? He said as he stalls for time.
Yeah.
Ready as he'll ever be.
Because again, we're professionals here.
You like movies about gladiators?
Some men aren't looking for anything logical, like money. They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
It's the breakfast buzz, everyone. Welcome. Come on in.
We're all a little rough looking today.
But got a new video clip. Haven't run it yet. About facing the day. Here we go.
You knew the job was dangerous when you took it, Fred.
You knew the job.
You know, I used to think it was Friend.
No, it's Fred. That's the lion's name is Fred.
Yeah.
That's the big F on his shirt.
Yeah.
He'd always throw Fred out in front of the danger. When he comes back all mangled, Super Chicken would look at him and go, "You knew the job was dangerous when you took it, Fred."
Not me. I was giving no such heads up.
That's true. I mean, that is the nature of our work.
Nature of our work is no heads up. Yeah.
When I see coffee, I just think of all of that wonderful tea being poured into the harbor. Heathens.
Burn, baby, burn.
Yeah.
The Ninja Genko says, Good morning.
Good morning.
So there you are.
Yes.
That's stupid. Stupid. The point? What?
Stupid to the point.
Yes.
This is how I feel about going in the Crime Con weekend. Yeah. It's like, oh, man. More fractured fairy tales, please.
Yes. Could be. Life's a beach. Yeah. And the wherewithal from partaking in super sauce. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't partaking in super sauce. I was just trying to get to sleep last night, and it's funny. I'm tired to my head. It's a pillow. I lay down. My body's like, wake up. You got a certain burst of energy.
I hate that.
You should go draw.
I don't even get energy for that.
No,
it's like just sit there. Just lie there.
Yeah,
you're too tired to not sleep.
Yeah,
and tired to sleep. That's what it was. Yeah,
and I have to buy a piece for the television in the bedroom. So it used to be I could just turn on the TV and then I watch YouTube, and something will put me to sleep. Like, this is educational.
Oh, a little lo-fi hip hop or something.
No, I can't do that. I can't. That could work, but no, it's got to be something like educational, like how the IRS was founded.
That'll do it.
That's why you sent me that series of bad conspiracy documentaries.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah,
They look like high school films. Yeah, yeah. Because I tried watching those. It was right out. Done. Yep. I used to go upstairs and watch either the World Poker Tour, which is on multiple channels anymore. Thank you, Plex and Pluto, or Laughing. Ronan Martin's Laughing.
Yeah.
But Ronan Martin's Laughing can keep me awake because it's like, whoa, that's
well,
funny.
that's the thing.
You don't hear that kind of joke anymore on TV.
Oh no, the Muppet
never
Show
thought.
had me dying. Oh my god, we started watching the Muppet Show. And oh my god, I haven't laughed so hard. You know, it's like just because of like just the pure randomness of just the Muppets in general. But yeah, but it's like when we get to the episodes that has like the disclaimer at the beginning, it's like we just brace ourselves for what's coming. Oh my god, it's the funniest.
Every episode of Laughing.
The whole the whole I think it was like I don't know if remember if it was the Ruth Buzzy. No, it was the one after that, and it was a whole skit. It was a whole thing about the telephone pole skit throughout the entire episode, and I'm not gonna.
That was the running gag.
Yeah, that was like. But when they finally get to the punchline at the end, it was like, oh, that's why there's a disclaimer at the beginning. Oh, I almost died. Yeah, it was so funny.
Well, remember, they were made for prime time, and our level of humor was completely different back then.
No, it really was. It really was. But the thing is, though, it's like when you know, like there was also like the Turkish song that they did, and it's like, oh yeah, I can see how that could be considered in poor taste now. But
I understand the Swedish chef is the one that's everybody's upset about, except the Swedes who think he's just hilarious.
Right, but that's also the whole thing about, you know, that people getting mad on behalf of other people that they have no business getting involved. You know, the whole, oh, I'm doing an activism, you know, type of thing.
The Gladys Kravitz syndrome, sort of.
Yeah, you know, it's like, you know, but but in the end, I would rather they have the disclaimers than edit it. So.
Eric says, I'm lettering bric-a-brac today. Art is all done. Book will be at the printer soon.
Oh, that's always the best feeling.
Russ
Swear
says,
to God.
I'm tired and scared. Where are my slippers?
I mean, finishing a book is almost. I mean, look, I'm just gonna outright say it. Finishing a book is like orgasmic, practically.
It can be. I mean, I remember finishing one and just being so happy that I don't think I slept much until I got it. I finished it, put it on the flash drive. The next morning I jumped in the car and me and the wife took it to the printer.
Right.
On the flash drive, like, it's done.
Uh-huh.
For the last 10 years, I've been doing that Flint Comics paper, and I've run that down to the printer personally on CD, old fashioned way. I know I could have put it on the cloud or whatever, but I went down there to talk to the guys, and then the next day it would be up at the distributor. Now I'm going to have to wait while my stuff gets printed. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be sitting here all upset, but used to be you drop it off at 5, you're back up at the distribution outlet at 3, and they're sitting there on a pallet, and then you take them and take off running and distribute them. Not anymore. Now it's all going to be Gemini mailers and trips to the mailbox.
Oh boy, yeah, Gemini mailers. At least get a sponsorship. for
I'm trying.
Gemini, come on, you can.
I'm trying. I did from Indie Volt Radio, guys. Speaking of printing, I thought this is a funny story you guys like to hear. This guy said, "Hey," and his name is this guy. This guy says, "Hey,
hi, guy."
This guy says, "Hi, guys. Funny story for you. My book was put off by 1 week because the printer I used ran out of staples."
I could believe that.
All they had to do is run 2 staples.
Yeah, no, but I could
ran out
actually, yeah, it's because we had we were using a previous printer that I guess their booklet maker broke down, literally, staples, the staples.
Yeah.
And and we had to scramble to find a new printer because of that, so that's a real thing.
There's today's lessons, kids. When it comes to printers, always have a backup.
Yeah, always. And remember, a lot of these, print on demand guys, it's just them, so it's like, so if they run out of staples, that, for a one-man band, that could be an issue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Ninja says, I used to be you can get a notebook hard drive at Fry's. Not anymore. No, Fry's is
gone. Yep.
Yeah. Fry's is
I understand their online site's probably gone too.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's what I heard. Like some guy was trying to archive it and it disappeared right in the middle of his work.
Randy's too young to remember this old store here in Michigan called Fretter. But I remember Fretters. Because they were appliance hardware store, electronic store.
Must have been a Detroit thing.
I'm not sure, but I remember they were.
I don't remember them being up here in Flint.
They were, but I remember they were always, their ads were always space age. They would always, have like the Star Wars background.
Oh,
this refrigerator for $300, and not refrigerator. I remember I got refrigerators on mine.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna need a new one pretty soon.
Fretters. Fretters.
Fretter. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Fretters.
Yeah.
I can see Ray listening to lo-fi hip hop.
I listen to a lot of different things, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm very eclectic in my musical taste.
Yeah. I mean, I like lo-fi hip hop when I'm working because it's literally the type of music that doesn't make me think. It's not like if I'm listening to like my standard soundtracks or whatnot, I start thinking of the scenes that associate with that music. With lo-fi, for some reason, it's literally like brainless background music without being like white snow sound.
Ran across the kid on Facebook, Mark Ribley, I think the guy's name is, who does his own electronic rhythms. He sets up a drive-in theater and does dance parties.
There you go. Yeah,
so he's a lot of fun to listen to.
I want to know who makes the.
He usually comes out in boxer shorts and a silk kimono.
Oh, there you go.
And performs, yeah.
I want to know who makes the lo-fi hip hop music.
I think it's a whole bunch of people. I mean, it's just people getting together and making music, and then they just put it on. They do these collectives where they're just
My main tastes are the songwriters, though, the old time. Almost Americana. So Robert Prine, Fred Eaglesmith.
The American songbook type of thing.
James McMurtry, I'm a big fan of.
I remember, Fred, there was one here.
What's there? Was there one around here, Lou? Lou's local.
Yeah, everyone's like,
that's a precursor to Radio Shack, which is a precursor to Best Buy, right?
It was like, remember
something.
Circuit City.
Highlands. Oh my goodness.
Highland. I remember Highland Appliance.
Yeah.
I think our big one over here was Crazy Eddie's.
Oh yeah.
But they closed down because I think like the owners were involved in some elaborate money laundering scheme or something. So
that's how they were able to keep their prices so low.
No, it was crazy. Something. It literally was crazy. Yeah.
We see ads like this, like
illegal.
Get this Sony AM/FM portable stereo, built-in cassette player. $64.
Yeah, and that was what it's like now $64 then was maybe like what $200-$300 now or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. It's, I remember those places, man. Along with the high
Chaparral.
That was before your time, son. Along with the High Chaparral and Star Trek, Laugh-In was one of the first TV shows I saw in color. Yeah.
No. Kalur. Here in America,
the first 2 years of Laugh-In are classic. You have to go back and watch it, but keep in mind that was humor,
right?
years ago.
But that's the thing that just people just need to understand. It's like, it's just, you have to understand the context of the time. Like I said, watching Muppet Show and seeing these skits, and it's like, yeah, okay, I understand why they're considered in poor taste now, but it's like, okay, but I can still enjoy it. It's like removing it from the show doesn't, change the fact that was, I mean, I think too many people, they confuse like, oh, if it's bad, it shouldn't exist, period. So it's like, what? So you could forget, I mean, it's
eventually we'll find new stereotypes.
No, absolutely. Just not even 10 years ago, people were using words like gay and retarded like as a comma, just to do like as adjectives. And now, you don't hear people talking like that anymore. So the language is always going to change, but you can't hold that against people. It's like, that's just the context of the time we were living in. Just like words we're saying now, 10 years from now, there's going to be, oh, I can't believe people talked like that, back then.
We all have differences. We need to laugh about them, not get uptight. Yep.
Yeah. I hope someone picks on us for how soft it become and how often we use the word problematic.
Right. Well, it's funny. It's like, I love it. I love it when comfortable people bitch about other people being soft. Yeah. When you're sitting there in front of your computer, talking about how, oh, kids these days, people are soft. It's like, yeah, okay. When was the last time you got up from in front of your laptop?
Yeah. Well, however,
so calm down.
You're meant to have any taste. What is funny is funny. Get over it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm Hassel. I'm looking at the moon tripping out stars and ish.
Yes. Short for shit.
Right. Well, you sound like you're having a better time than we are.
John says he's super excited for my virtual Comic-Con. We got Dragon Ball Z voice actors and Luke Stone. Stone. Who the hell is Luke Stone? March 27th, 28th. Just kidding, Luke. You don't come on the show often enough.
Communing with Nibiru.
Who?
Nibiru.
Communing with Nibiru? Yeah,
he's Nibiru, the planet that
he's found Planet 9.
Yeah.
I remember Fredders. There was one here. Yeah. It was.
Yeah. Fredders is an awesome story, man.
Damn. Fredders.
Yeah. Ollie Fredders. Yep.
Ollie Fredders.
That was his name.
Oh, was it?
Oh, silent movies with lo-fi. That's interesting. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Are you high as F, the ninja, right now?
Is that I? Highland Appliance going defunct is what brought Best Buy to Michigan.
Yeah.
Also, if Fredder couldn't beat the price of any of an item, they gave you 5 pounds of coffee.
Oh, so there you go. Yeah. There you go.
Don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Genuine Comics. Thanks for coming out and listening, Genuine.
Oh, yeah.
At least the show at a normal time.
Well, normal is relative.
Normal time. Yes, exactly. Right on. What is normal, my friend?
Mm-hmm. Indie Vote Radio question for you guys. And this one relates to inking. And it is from, wow, their name is really, I'm just going to call you.
Hey, wow. How are you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you wow. No. Yeah. I'm just gonna call this person.
What's their first initial? Just go by their first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
you wanna spell his name or what it take?
I see.
Ciflor. Yeah.
Ciflo?
Yeah.
That's the thing with us with being international.
Cliff. How about that? Cliff.
Okay.
It's gonna be Cliff.
Either that or it could be a fake name. Somebody's typing in a drug. Syphilis.
He says, hi guys, in regards to inking, is there a brand of ink that you like to use? I used to prefer Higgins until I noticed that it no longer performs like it used to when I was drawing in the 90s.
Yes.
It seems to be, he says it seems to be a lot more liquid, a lot more water-based than ever before.
Yeah.
Any brands doing Higgins like ink now that you can recommend?
Higgins makes a lot of different types of ink, and there is an all black ink that works. That's the old formula. At least there used to be. I haven't checked into ink in a while, but you might want to check around and see if you can get that brand. In fact, if you go up to dickblick.com.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yes.
Actually, first you go to indievolt.com and you click on the Dick Blicks link
at the bottom of the page.
At the bottom of the page, and you order $45 or more worth of jet black Higgins ink. Shipping is free.
Yeah.
Shipping's on us.
Yeah.
So do that. But yeah, you're going to have to check around and play around with different formulas, and it happens all the time. It's just like before we came on the air, Varian was talking about his Rockstar drink tasting different.
Yeah,
and they change,
even though they claim it's original.
Yeah.
People, the corporate changes formula all the time, thinking that they'll slip one over on you. But there is a jet black Higgins ink. There's a lot of different types of Higgins. You might have gotten a more watery version of it, or a calligraphy ink that's made for people using different tools.
And because the problem that I had with Higgins too is that it was watery, and it would kind of like do this weird clotting thing. It was disgusting. So it's like, so with me, because I use a lot of technical pens, like I use the Cohen or Rapidographs, so I use the ink that's specific to those pens. It's literally made by Cohen or so it's a very it's a very pigmented ink. And then it's like I started using, when it comes to the multi-liners, I'm using the Faber-Castell Pitt pens, which uses India ink in it, as opposed to like other liners where the ink tends to be a lot thinner. But also Faber-Castell, they have like the regular India ink, and then they have kind of like a super black version of the same pen. So you have to really kind of like play around with the type of ink that you're using, and make sure you're getting the right type, because for calligraphy the ink is usually thinner, because I also ink with fountain pens, and that requires a different ink than like I had, like for the fountain pens I use like Noodlers. It's literally called Noodlers. It's just experimenting with it until you find something you like.
I was so happy to get past Rapidographs. When lettering and doing fine point, because I used to have a Rapidograph cleaner that was a little stand that was on a small, that would vibrate in order to shake all the ink out of it. But you really have to be careful with those tools. A lot of the old inkers that I knew in the 80s and 90s used to mix their own stuff. They used to find different things, or leave stuff out, or stick stuff in the microwave for 30 seconds.
Right. No,
microwavable dish in order to dry it out a little bit. Yeah,
we knew a guy who would boil his ink. So that to really concentrate that pigment,
knock some of the water content out.
Mm-hmm.
Eric told us
there's all sorts of tricks.
Genuine Comics is Perfect 10. So a Perfect 10 book was pretty good. I was looking at it a couple days ago.
Glenn says Pelican is good.
Pelican ink.
FW pigmented inks.
Right. Yeah, you really got to look and experiment. Yeah.
And
Rot ring.
Rotring. Yeah, I think that's the Kohinoor ink.
Rotring ink.
Yeah.
Ever since, well, that's off topic.
And then Glenn says, not Glenn, I'm sorry. Russ says, I'll be honest, I use Higgins as well.
Right. Yeah.
Daphne has the ink for every day of the week.
Sometimes it kind of feels like that. but that's our lot in life, right?
I got the I have the my wife doesn't let me forget it. I have the Copic multi-liners, the SPs.
Yeah. I've been using those recently too.
And I had the disposable one, so I moved over to the metal SPs that disposable. And I remember someone told me, said, "Well, and I always forget how the internet has made us all closer." Because I was talking to someone, I said, "Well, they're really not worth it. It costs the same for the refills that it would for the pens."
Yeah.
But then that was in their country. Here, it's still a little bit cheaper to buy the refill.
Every country's different.
But my wife, she reminded me. She was like, "I thought I lost them." and she told me about myself. I found it.
Well,
she bought them for me for Christmas.
Right. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So
the only thing I don't like about them is that, especially on the smaller pens, the nibs are really fragile. And I know that you can replace the nibs, but it's like if they keep mushing all the time, it kind of gets a little too much.
It's probably in that case, it's probably best to buy those to buy the disposable ones.
Yeah.
Toss them in the trash. Or you do like friends of mine do, and I've been doing it too. I save all the Copics, and every time I meet a new artist who's like, I don't have any Copics. Right. Here, take all these. I remember Jeremy Treese did that to Jason McCormick. He brought Jason, just a handful of Copics. Just go through them and see which ones work. I'm not sure which ones still work, but because
you could just refill them. So so
these are disposable ones, but
right.
He says go through them and see what works. If it doesn't, you can toss them. And just a ridiculous handful of.
I usually use my markers until they're just completely. And the thing is, and I keep trying to stretch them out by putting alcohol in them and everything. So so once they're gone, it's like, okay, now you're not time to buy a new one.
Definitely, you next year we tell them you put batteries in the refrigerator before you toss them out.
Oh no, but I do tape them together to throw them out though. Because I heard that story once where it's like someone's trash can, went on fire because two batteries touched and caused a spark. So
that's no joke. I was in New Orleans, and my dumb ass took some batteries for the microphone, doing an interview, and put them in my pocket.
Oh no!
I'm walking around the convention center, and all of a sudden, why is my pocket so warm? And it's really, really hot. And
I'm on fire.
And I reached my pocket, I pulled the battery out. I'm looking at it, and the battery's in my hand is getting hot.
Right.
And I'm like, I think I took it to Anthony, hey man, check this out. And Anthony let out a couple of colorful euphemisms. And said, hey, you better toss that shit over there. That's my Anthony impersonation. Toss that shit over there in the trash can. Get away from me. Gonna blow this motherfucker up. Russ uses computer black.
No, and the thing is too is that there's also a particular formula, a code for a particular shade of black for the computer too. It's called rich black, and it's a particular CMYK code.
It's not me. Is it VMG?
Rich I don't know. It's a CMYK. Oh, silly. It's a CMYK code for rich black, and I've tried it, and there's a huge difference when it goes to print. There's a huge difference. It's you don't get that kind of that gray undertone in the black. It completely. But the catch is that they have to print it. I think it's they have to do it offset for it to work. I think I'm not sure if it's digital.
Russ comes back, says, I've been using Pentel brush pens and removing the internal valve and refilling with my own ink.
Yeah, that's kind of why I started using fountain pens too, so I can have a little bit more ink variety. Yeah.
Not me. Does it mean a pen? If it don't work, I throw it in the trash.
I mean, in the end, it's whatever works. It's there is no one standard.
No, you really have to play around and do what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
This is here. Hold on. Oh, okay. Buddy of mine put a new comic out. Okay, cool.
Right.
I was seeing a link. Sorry. I go off air when I'm looking at links because, especially on this monitor,
just in
case. The last thing I need is somebody popping up and they're in various states of undress.
Your red account suddenly popping up.
Yeah. I don't need that. I need that hassle. Now, let me see here. One other thing from Indie Volt Radio. Guys, what do you think of a service like Fiverr or UpHire for comic book work?
Wow. Considering that Fiverr takes 20%, Which seems like
and practices right now.
So I go. It's Fiverr offering us a subscription, not a subscription, a sponsorship deal. I mean, as using it as a comic book artist or finding comic book artists on Fiverr. I mean,
well, I guess using it as
right. I mean, you gotta remember, it's like the whole point of Fiverr is for people to get artwork as cheaply as possible. So, sometimes you really do get what you pay for. So, I guess it depends if you think you're gonna. I don't know. I have no experience with using it, but I've seen experiments that people have done on YouTube about hiring people on Fiverr, and it's really hit or miss. So that's all I can say, really.
I didn't experiment myself with Fiverr. I took some art that I had drawn, and I took it to an inker. Guy inked it for $5. He did a decent job.
Decent for $5 or decent for inking in general?
Well, no, it was for inking in general. It was serviceable.
Okay.
Excuse me. Now the issue after that was getting it colored, and I found the gentleman online on Fiverr who would do it for, because remember the prices aren't just $5,
right?
It could be $5, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
it was like, I think he charged me $15, and honestly, it was not bad. Okay. It was a little bit softer than I think a comic book piece would be, but it didn't look horrible. Okay. And the weird thing was the inker, he was a little strong. His inking style was a little strong. He kind of overpowered my art. It didn't look like I drew it at all. He definitely took the piece his direction. It was just a poster, but he definitely took in his direction. And there's the problem with that is that there's not a lot of go back and forth at that point. Whereas if you got an inker, if I hire Eric, I can say, "Hey, what the heck, man? You're overpowering me. Right. Stop it. Cut back on that." But
also you're paying $5. So how much back and forth do you expect for $5?
Right. You're not gonna get a lot. You're gonna So that was my experience with it. Now, I prefer to ink myself.
Yeah.
When possible, but it's not bad. Now, if this person was if they're referring to a service like Fiverr, just built for just comic art, oof.
I mean, I'm kind of. I mean, because when JD looks for people, he's usually going on like DeviantArt to find people. Because it's like in the end, it's like there's a risk you take for being too cheap, and it's like, if you want your stuff to look even vaguely professional looking, you really do have to pay the money to get it. I mean, it's like, and at least DeviantArt allowed him to find people from all over the world. And, and with the various, I guess, price differences that comes with that, so it is possible to find people that are affordable who are also still, of quality. But yeah, in the end, it's like there's no easy way of doing it. It's like you have to. It's kind of like the ink. You have to keep looking and keep experimenting and trying out people, to see whether they're going to fit with what you want to do.
I'm gonna get my next story editor from Fiverr. It'll be awesome.
Why not?
Yeah, I'm gonna get my next story editor from Fiverr. It's gonna be like, yeah, for $10, I'll edit your 30-page story. They never promised they were gonna do it in English. So they never said they were gonna.
Oh boy.
Yeah, man. They just
that reminds me of a bad joke I saw in National Lampoon.
Oh no.
They were selling drink on a hot day, refreshing drink for $1. The guy comes over to buy a drink, And he goes, $1. You guys art can't even make any money. This is hilarious. Takes a drink and then spits it out. And he goes, this tastes like piss. And the kid goes, yeah, but mouthwash is $10.
Oh boy.
There's I remember there was a joke similar to that about a guy walks over to the bartender, tells the bartender he can pee in a cup across the bar, and bartender says, no, you can't. And he says, yeah, I can. I bet you $100. And the bartender's like, go for it. Puts the cup down, the guy pees in the cup, but he's peeing all over the bar, like on the bartender, on the bar itself, all over. And the bartender's like, ha ha ha, give him $100. And the guy says, okay. And the bartender's like, why are you so happy about it? He said, well, I bet that guy over there $500. I can piss all over you and you wouldn't say anything.
You'd be happy about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. Indie Boat Radio. Could you guys expand a little? I'm sorry. This is from Brian. Brian says, could you guys expand a little bit on what you mean when you say you dumb down the art for print and for press when you have a lot of work to do? Did we say that?
I mean, probably we might have shown variations of it,
Oh, okay. I get what he's saying.
Wally Wood's chart is like the beginning of that,
Yeah, I get what he's saying. Like I had mentioned with my comic, with the comic I did for Randy Swank Comics, just doing a comic strip, even though it was monthly, which I could have took some time on. It was like it just got quicker to do it. To streamline the process of how the characters look. So I guess I can upload this real quick. I have a folder here. So this is Tipsy.
It's kind of an animation trick, yeah.
Yeah.
You strip everything down to simplified lines.
Right. That's a mock-up of Tipsy, a little mascot for my company, Last Call Comics. That's the quick render of him. When it came to doing the strip, after a while, I started getting, I want to say lazy, but I took a lot of those elements out. So gone was the white around the eyes. It became that. Even though the original is still over there in the left-hand corner on the logo.
But the thing is, but you could tell that you still keep, even with that missing, you still keep pretty much the essence of the character. It's not like it completely changes the character by having or not having.
Right. It was just you gotta get quicker, gotta do it. All the characters got these black button eyes after a while. I'm like, it was fun.
Love those black button eyes, those pie eyes are amazing.
No, I mean, no. You see, the thing is, though, it's like I started doing that a lot in my work too. It's like little dots for eyes, and I'm like going, you know what? If it's good enough for Mobius and little dots for noses was good enough for Manara, I can do that too.
Well, in my comic research, in my comic research, I discovered C.C. Beck, who did Captain Marvel, the original Captain Marvel, Billy Batson, stripped his style down to just bare lines on purpose, because he realized he was in he was going from an illustration media to a comic media where there was a lot of bright colors, and a lot of the bright colors needed to come through, and a lot of the shading lines and things weren't really necessary because it needed to be bright, it needed to be solid and big, especially for the printing presses back in those days. So that's what he did. He stripped his style down. Thus, he was able to kick out pages like nobody's business.
Right.
Eric says, Fiverr, you get what you pay for.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, you really do.
Linda says, go ahead, put that trash where it belongs. We're in a casual salvage. Job. I didn't pay $5 on Fiverr. Buyer beware, so different than looking for talent other places, says Joe. Getting ink done was great, says the ninja. See, Russ says, make your own website, start an email list, post your work, you will find projects.
Yeah.
Eric says, I don't know what's worse, scheming to get free art for your comic or paying desperate artists lowball. Yeah, we had the guy who sent out the pages 5 pages to all these different
Yeah,
colors.
no, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's
doing it for exposure, kid.
yeah. Mount Everest is covered with people looking for exposure. You know, it's like
and Glenn's footprints.
Yeah, and Glenn's and Glenn's footprints. Yes.
Russ said that Arrow cover was Pentel brush and Higgins ink.
There you go.
I've got that cover right.
Boom. That's
I was noticing that on some.
Look at that.
Yeah,
look at how awesome that looks. Whoops.
I was noticing that on some art when I was at the Marvel exhibit. Some artists had taken the time to write on the side of the board what they used.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
So like they would say Higgins ink, Pentel brush, or brush ink, this brand.
I guess so if anybody came after them, they can still kind of keep it consistent.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, or they're just writing notes for themselves because they have so many supplies. They need to remember what they used. Either one's fine.
If I'm doing it for the next guy, I'm messing them up. I'm like, I use this. Oh, we killed Randy.
Oh, no.
He said he had to cut out early, but not this early.
Right. Well, it's just you and me then.
Yeah. He'll be back. He probably hit the wrong button.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I've made that mistake a couple of times too.
Yeah. Let's see here. Shaw DN says, back when Comic-Cons happened, I connected with indie creators there. Yeah. I mean, shortcuts and economy of line are all part of the art.
I love that. I love that phrase, economy of line, because in the end, it's like, because it's like I find especially recently, I've found myself, simplifying my work.
Hit the wrong button.
Yeah, we figured. Yeah.
Eric says, art for Dread Dinosaur Man on Webtoon is simplified so I can do a strip a week and be consistent.
Yeah.
The print book will be much more detailed.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Yeah. Eric, if that art is simplified, I'm in big trouble.
Well,
you've always been in big trouble.
Yeah. I'm like, because I'm lazy. I remember watching this documentary on comic strip artists, though. There was
I think I know which documentary you're talking about.
There's a New York one. There's the New York one is nuts.
Yeah.
But there's one that stripped.
Yes, that one. Yeah,
that one hurt.
Yeah,
and I'm not even a comic strip artist, but I'm like, it's like seeing your family members taken advantage of. You're like, oh,
yeah, no, it's
is someone
rough.
gonna help them?
Yeah, no, it's rough. You know.
And I got comic strip boards. It's funny. I bought some because I was doing that comic for Randy.
Because that's also the other thing that we do. We collect ink and collect boards. Paper.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, look at this. That's a unique board I've never seen before.
It's all good. Yep.
I'm gonna take this home and buy it. It's a problem. You gotta help us, guys. Send money. Send money.
Yes, that's the way to help us. Yes.
Yeah. Send money, buy our stuff.
Right, because when Michaels has those 2-for-1.
Who?
Michaels.
No.
Oh, and Dick Blick.
Yeah. There's no other art stores that we know.
There's no other art store.
Well, I wouldn't really consider Michaels an art store,
especially with a wide variety of fine artistic products.
Yeah.
Then Dick Blick, go to indievolt.com right now and click on that Dick Blick link. Order yourself $45 or more.
Free shipping.
Products. Shipping's on us.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
There we go.
Because Dick Blick also usually has like really good deals on markers, where it's like the more markers you buy, the price that they start to lower the price on it. So yeah, those are good.
Oh,
Michaels,
yeah.
Here. Oh.
Well, I mean, look, I have a Michaels at the corner of my house.
How dare you?
Oh, forget it. If I had a Dick Blick at the corner of my house, I'd be living there. I'd be paying rent over there.
Yay!
Is it I gotta check and see because Dick Blick had Lola. Is our contract with Dick Blick by themselves or the Dick Blick organization? Because they partnered up with Utrecht.
Yeah. I remember
they just solely with
up.
Dick Blick.
It's what?
You don't know? So for now, we'll just air and just say Dick Blick, because I'm like,
yeah,
because their websites are identical, but they take you to different name.
Yeah,
different.
You can get to the proper one through the indievolt.com website anyway. That's what you want to go through. You need that
free
link
shipping.
connection.
Now the $45 for free shipping is pretty hype. I actually got to check that out myself.
Bit of breaking news. Pops just dropped it into my inbox. Tyler Carpenter has canceled his crowdfunding program for chefs.
Wow.
He's going to put it on Webtoon.
That's weird.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Why would you cancel a crowdfunder?
I have no idea. He did a video about it. But I'm not going to play it because I don't want to. I'm not going to stream
yeah. It sums up to this.
You knew the job was dangerous when you took it, Fred.
That's what it is.
Right, yeah. I mean, because it's like I'm like tangentially familiar with his work, but I never checked out his campaign. So yeah, I have what would it take to make someone cancel a campaign? Unless you're asking for too much money.
I don't think you're asking much. But I'll tell you this. Is there more exposure? I mean, we do a show here. We do a show here every Monday called "It Came from Webtoon."
Right.
Is it because there's more exposure?
Tyler's hoping to be on the show, I would imagine.
Yeah. That's what happened. He canceled it so he can come on this show right here.
That's exactly what it is.
It came from Webtoon, which is the most popular Webtoon-based show.
He didn't want people making up songs if he happened to be late. That's what it was.
We're never gonna. Although that was a hot song. I remember singing it in the shower. I say it quite often. I was messing with Daphne about my unicorn, my horned white.
Well, she should be showing up this week.
Yeah.
Came from Webtoon Monday.
Yeah. But canceled his crowdfunding. That's and weird. He's going to Webtoon. Check out he's got a video up. So,
right.
Yeah,
I have to admit, I think I either caught on.
Should we screen snipe it? It's probably the closest he'll ever get to the program.
No, I think Tyler will come on this show.
Why wouldn't he?
I think he hasn't been on a long time.
Yeah, Tyler was on a long time ago, but I'm messaging him now.
Some people, they get this thing up there, whatever, and they, I'm not saying Tyler. I'm not saying Tyler's like that at all, but
maybe he just makes a lot of videos, and
we've had a lot of people come through our doors that we never hear from again.
Right.
It's
it happens.
Wonder whatever happened to so and so. Well,
yeah.
Who knows?
Right. No, but the whole thing about Webtoons, it's like, I think I kind of got into it without like really understanding it, because like I was on Webtoons for about like 2 years, and I guess I didn't understand it enough to really take advantage of it. And I just took everything down, and so I don't know. So the idea that he canceled a crowdfunder just to go exclusive on Webtoons is like, maybe they're paying him. I don't know.
That was my experience with Drunk Duck. I was on there for a little while, and it's like nobody's looking at this anyway. Yeah.
It just seemed like a really hard sell, and the formatting was really time consuming.
See, I have a template set up for it, so I just
slap it in.
Right.
Yeah.
In the end, but it's still time consuming though. I mean, I created a template for it, but it's still though. But and not everything works for everybody. So
we do what we can.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I just it's abandoned projects. Projects here. My son once had an abandoned project. He was gonna make a Lego movie.
Right.
And he had me buy him a camera and everything for stop motion.
Right.
I think that went all about 10 minutes, and he was like,
"Wow,
this is work." No.
Yeah. I mean, it's what was it? There was a show that I used to listen to where they would explain it's like it's not quitting, it's strategic stopping.
Yeah.
You know, it's like sometimes not every project is worth really bringing to fruition.
That's true.
Yeah.
Eric's is buying supplies from Dick Blick's like getting them from an old master. From Michael's, it's like asking grandma to borrow some crayons.
That's a really good, that's a really good comparison. That's exactly what going to Michael's feels like. It's like grandma shopping. It's like, but the Strathmores are 2 for 1.
I got a coupon for 50% off.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about the coupons. Yeah,
only one item. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's Bed Bath and Beyond. And you
Oh,
get the checkout line there, and there's an entire procession of got enough coupons here. Have
coupons,
5 more.
Coupons,
here, have 5 more.
Here, I have extra coupons.
I see that Pops had mentioned that he wanted the book to be read by as wide as an audience as possible. He was totally happy with the backing and whatnot. Nothing bad. It's a different direction. Yeah, I mean, and that's cool. I've made some changes like that. You know, midstream, but I've never done crowdfunding, so I've made some.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
I've made some decisions like I'm not doing it. I'm changing it, but I
still don't understand why not do both. I mean, if his crowdfunding was going well, he could do the webtoons too. I mean, it's 2 different things.
I'm talking to him now. I told him pop in. He says he's driving, but we'll have him pop in for a while and explain himself to the jury.
Tyler, oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Pop in and explain yourself.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, it's like you said. He'll probably just make a video explaining everything.
Well, yeah, he made it already. But yeah, I like to know like what kind of like. I get it. I get wanting a bigger audience, but like, because do you deal with people who get mad? Like, man, I was really hoping to have that book in my hand.
Yeah, but because that would be my concern, because it's like, as somebody who doesn't like looking at stuff, right? Exactly. As somebody who doesn't like reading comics on the screen, I'd rather have it in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know,
comics, I like boobs. They look great on a computer, but I'd rather hold one in my hand.
Right? Exactly. You know, it's
here he is now.
it's like,
there he is, Mr. Drawn Talk himself, Tyler Carpenter.
Mr. Carpenter, how are you?
hello.
I'm good. Tell me if you guys can hear me well, because I'm driving right now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah,
we can hear you.
All right, awesome. What's up?
Hi.
So Tyler, you have canceled the campaign for your book. You're gonna take it over to Webtoon. We were talking about that and trying to figure out, why not first, like Eric Hawkins said, why not both?
Both, yeah.
And what kind of thinking went into that? How'd you come to that decision?
Yeah, so I launched the campaign, and then 3 days later, I was like, I've been wanting to do a webtoon for the last year, and I just never pulled the trigger. And when I launched the campaign, I was like, man, I think now is the time for me to do it. But, I launched this campaign. What do I do? Then I was thinking, okay, what if I put out the book first, and then I put all the content on Webtoon for free? And then I thought, that's really shitty for all the backers who, one, if they paid for the digital tier, they're like, why did I pay for a PDF? I could have read it all for free online. I was like, okay, I don't want to do that. Because this is like the first volume introducing people to my series, if they don't like the book but paid for it and they found out they could have read it for free online to test it first, that would have pissed them off as well. So I was like, you know what? First and foremost for me, it's never been about the money. It's never been. It's always been about putting out a product, a story that readers will be able to resonate with. That's why the book was going to be close to 80 pages, and it was $12 on Kickstarter, $12 for 80 pages of fully colored work. And so I decided like 3 days. And then I just streamed. Man, I don't know how long you want me to explain this. There was a ton of thought into this.
However long it takes, Tyler.
Well, here's my question, because it's like, I understand you being concerned about the people who bought the PDF, and all of a sudden, I could have just read it on Webtoons. But the thing is, a PDF is a different format than webtoons, because speaking for myself, I would have much rather have had the PDF, because I hate reading stuff on webtoons especially. And so it's like, you know, and then you have the people who would have preferred a physical copy that now they're not getting a physical copy. Like I would have, like my hierarchy would have been physical copy, PDF, and like webtoons wouldn't even be on the list for me because I just wouldn't read it there. So how did you manage that?
So here's the thing. This is the plan going forward. We're just we're changing the recipe as you would with my book, because it's a cult food book. We're going webtoons first. Webtoons first. Then we'll put out a PDF that you can get on my Gumroad, that you can get on my store. Then once we have enough content to pile up into the graphic novels, we'll then crowdfund for the physical book. So people who are wanting the physical book, we'll still give you the physical book. And to give you incentive to get the physical book, there will be exclusive stories in there that are not on the webtoon for free.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but what you said though is true. That you personally don't like webtoons. I'm sure Randy doesn't like webtoons. I'm sure Varian doesn't like webtoons. But
I got a book there. I'm not against webtoons.
I got a book on
webtoons. I just couldn't make it work for me. But that's just what it is. And then it's like I just don't like reading stuff digitally anyway. So it's it's a personal thing. It's not like if webtoons works for you, bless.
I got it. My point though in saying that though is, in our community, in our indie comics community, I did a video on Monday that said 4 reasons why comic books are failing, the sales are decreased. And when I went through all the answers, when I did a live stream the next day, reading through these answers and seeing the response, all I could think of was, why isn't no one in our community concerned with getting the 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds into reading comics? Because they're not going to a brick and mortar store, they're not getting physical. You know, they're reading on their phones, they're reading on their tablets. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I don't care about having, I don't care about having this exclusive variant cover that a collector's gonna want. What I want is a bunch of 15-year-olds who are messaging me saying, "Oh my gosh, that comic was great. I read your update every single week." And so what I realized is, at the moment, my Kickstarter is capturing, for me at least, the wrong audience. I still appreciate all the backers. I want them to read my book. They will read the book, but at the ground level, I want a target audience of 12 to 18-year-olds reading my book. So if I go to where they're going, they're all on Webtoon. They're all on their phone. If I can go to where they're going, and if I can bring enough hype, then maybe some of them will go, "Hey, I really like that story. I want the book. Oh, he has a T-shirt. I want the T-shirt. Oh, he has a YouTube channel. I want to go follow him on YouTube." One thing I feel like that comics is doing is capturing the youth.
Right. So it's a whole strategy then, rather than something went wrong. So okay, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah, nothing went wrong. We fully funded in 3 hours. We were gonna do an Indiegogo as well. I had scheduled to be on probably 20 really big YouTube shows that would have easily funded my campaign massively, and yet it's not about, for me, none of this has been about the money. It's been capturing the readers and capturing not necessarily the wrong readers, but I need to be in a different place to capture those readers.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And I got a book on Webtoon. Eric Hodson told me about it, and I robbed him of his idea. I went and I rushed out my comic to beat him. And I did. I was like, here. And so I got a book on Webtoon, but I know you've done the research. You got to be consistent up there on Webtoon so often. You got content up there. And we're gonna be, I'm glad to know that again, you didn't do this because the money wasn't there. It was because you wanted to actually increase the visibility of your product, which I respect.
Well, yeah, and also it's like he just unfortunately realized midstream that it's like, oh wait, my strategy is a little wrong, or it's like the strategy is not really what I wanted.
Yep.
I mean, because what's funny is that whole conversation about why aren't there more creators catering to kids, that could be a topic all on its own, because it's like, what's funny is that that's a question that I ask because I get asked that question a lot at conventions, but at the same time it's like, I'm also working on a project that it's like, well, someone else has to cater to kids because I'm not catering to the type of thing, Like it's kind of like we're all looking at each other like, oh well, why aren't you? Well, you do it, you do it, you do it. Right?
Well, Tyler, I appreciate you coming on. I know you're driving. I don't want to hear. I know I don't want to hear screeching tires in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. But Tyler,
driving on the show, man.
Yeah,
Tyler, you need to come back on more often and let us know how the strategy is working.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll come back on in a couple of months and I made a mistake.
Yeah,
well, no. Hopefully, you're going to be a big success. That's not why we want you back on. We're absolutely curious because you're trying to think outside of the box here and aim for an audience that is definitely missing. That's why we want you back on. Let's see how it goes.
Hey,
either way, information is valuable.
I'll come back on. Come back on, and when I'm not driving, and I will explain.
Sounds good.
In depth for you guys. So if I I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. You have a good day.
We
we'll
appreciate you, and thanks for talking to us. Yeah, be safe.
Yeah,
that was Tyler
Carpenter.
He stopped his Kickstarter for chefs and decided to go to Webtoons. We'll see how that works out for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's like, okay, so it's like he decided that the strategy he was following wasn't one that he really wanted to do. I mean, me personally, I still find it a little odd, but like I said, that's a me thing. I mean, he has to do what he feels is right for his book.
Well, that's all part of the independent alternative spirit, and we need to, like I said, we need to keep tabs on him, see how he does. Maybe he's on to something. You never know.
Yeah.
Comic Book Black Belt says comics need to be available to see if they are not in stores or not available easily on a phone or tablet. How do people find them? Physical or digital? It's about visibility.
Yes.
Catch the Crazy podcast. Gives us some thumbs up.
Good morning.
Catch the Crazy.
Eric says I posted on Webtoon first to start bringing in an audience. So I think he has a sound strategy. Let's bring him on when he launches to the It Came From Webtoon show. I like to look here.
I like that too.
Joe says, here's a better question. Will 12 plus pay for the content on the digital platform? Again, with Drive-Thru Comics and Comixology being self-contained platforms for this, why aren't 12 plus 12-year-olds using it?
Well, Joe, he might be thinking the long game as opposed to the short game.
Yeah.
So you never know, because obviously I was just overlooking at his campaign. He more than funded.
Yeah, so he doesn't have a problem.
To change his strategy, on his own to try to reach that younger audience that he feels is over at Webtoons. It'll be real interesting to keep tabs on his progress and see how he does. Because, like he said, maybe he'll come on 2 or 3 months and go, "Oh my God, I made a huge mistake."
Right, but like I said, either way, it's valuable information.
That's how people learn. Yes.
Yeah. That's how it's like Randy always says, like link in the chain thing. Oh, you did this and you screwed up. Okay, so I'm gonna not do that. I'm gonna do the reverse.
It's like, look, why should we all make the mistakes when we can watch someone else do it and learn?
It's like if I see your body all wrapped up in that chain, that chain wire, that chain link, that razor wire, I'm just gonna crawl over your body. Getting cut up.
I've seen what happens when you piss on that electric fence. I don't think I'll do that.
Exactly.
Pop says I make sure that 4 kids in my household see comics. Rich in the chat. Hey, Rich, how's it going?
Hey, Rich. Hope you're doing well.
Again, when they can torrent comics for free from people scanning physical books or posting PDFs they get, how is the creator going to pay for production? I don't know what you're talking about. What scanner? What
scanner? We don't.
Well, I think that's a different issue. It's like, because it's like we're talking. you know, we're talking about like I've had people ask me, you know, like I have the first 5 issues of Eagle Raven for free. I have the first 20, I mean, the 20 issues of the original Thieves Quest for Tall Tales on my website for free. And people are like going, well, if they can just read it free, you know, read it for free, then what's the incentive to buy it? And it's like, well, the incentive to buy it is that you want it in front of you, you know, to read it, that you're not just depending on my website to read it. And also, you know, the fact that, you know, it's a different format and it's just a different way of, because like I said, I don't read stuff online. You know, it's like I have my own books online and I don't read them because I don't like that format. You know, and 133 people also agreed with me when I finally put, you know, Eagle Raven on Kickstarter, and also the fact that it was in full color and it had like a completely different look and whatnot. But so it's not that you're really giving anything away for free. It's just you're hitting different people with each different format.
And Tyler's thinking also, because he sees a disparity in 12 to 15-year-olds not reading comics. And it's been so long since the mainstream actually sat to try to concentrate on that market. And when they do, they go into shops that are aimed at primarily 25 to 55-year-old people. And then they wonder why kids' books aren't selling.
Right.
You know? So it's important to try to get out there in front of other eyes and ears. That's what, especially right now, because get my soapbox out for a second. That especially right now, with the way that we're sitting with our independent and alternative markets, because everybody knows, everybody's seen the Marvel and DC numbers are stepping down, whether they want to admit it or not. It's time for the alternative and the independents to go out there, stretch their legs, and get out in front of different eyes and start spreading out. Because I can't tell you how gratifying it is, because I did that paper for 10 years, to have everybody from a little kid to 90-year-old people come up to you and tell you how much they love what you do.
Oh, there
is nothing like that feeling.
Yeah.
Nothing. And the only way that's ever going to happen is if we mainstream comics, if we take it out of the hole of specifically the retailer and stretch it out into as many areas as possible.
Eric says, if you're building a brand you have to play the long game. A 12-year-old reading Dreaded Dinosaur Man for free on Webtoon can translate to a 17 and 35-year-old spending the money on that Dreaded Dinosaur Man books and merch.
Exactly. The whole idea, it's like, look, it's like, think about, like, you know, when we were little kids, we weren't the ones buying the Transformer toys and the My Little Ponies and the He-Mans. We were depending on our parents to do that. Only now, at the age that we're at, now that we have jobs and money of our own, that we're able to go back and buy these things and buy the merchandise and you know, because we can now. We have pockets. We have money.
Eric says, when Daphne buys the Dread Dinosaur Man on Indiegogo, she'll have to go to Webtoon to connect all the dots.
Right, there you go. Like, they literally an entire strategy. You know, exactly. Yeah.
Bring you, Randy. I was waiting for Daphne rant and got a Randy rant.
There you go. Look, you know, which hashtag will you get today?
I tried to keep it short.
I believe this, though. I think that Webtoon is great. I got a book on there, but you got to be consistent. There's a lot of, other than, there's another show on YouTube that talks about the rules and some of the finer points of Webtoon. The problem with those videos is that they become old and dated so quickly as they change their algorithms on that site. But one thing is for sure, you have to be consistent. Eric's been able to talk to some people who are in charge of Webtoon, and at least stateside, and you know, they've given him information that he's used. And I think that but one of the things is you have to be consistent. You have to have new episodes up at least bi-weekly.
Right. Wow.
Otherwise, people, you know, are gonna forget about you. And
so much content to get lost. It's like YouTube, you know. It's like
Standards and practice popped in the back.
I said, from a land far, far away, we bring you JD Calderon.
Right.
Standards and practice popped in. I mean, apparently we said something we weren't supposed to say.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
You know, you gotta be consistent on there though, and as long as you can get that content up there, like Eric was itching. And it actually affects the creators, because I've seen creators who have books of webtoon. Man, I gotta get my new issue up there, because there's so much content up there. There's so much. In fact, I'm reading one right now. I meant to share it with Eric. It's great. I don't know why this guy put it out like that. JD.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Hell, JD. Hell.
Hell.
The ninja says, "Yep." Russ says, "Bring it, Randy. I'm waiting for Daphne." Daphne. Oh yeah, you already said that. Sorry.
So it's like so to go back to, I guess, like what he was saying, that it's like that he really wanted to concentrate on targeting his book to 12 to 18-year-olds, and like I said, it's like it's really funny, because it's like with Tall Tales, we keep telling people that it's like, oh yeah, it's like 13 up and whatnot. But in my brain, I'm not creating for that audience though. So when I describe Tall Tales, I have like a disconnect in my head, and it's like, and it's the same disconnect that I'm getting with Eagle Raven too. Oh, what's the age range? It's like, well, 13 and up, but I'm not really writing this book for 13-year-olds. I'm actually like more like 18 and up, like more like late teen up. So it's like, it's kind of, so when they go, oh, where are the books for kids? And I go, well, somebody else better do it. You know? And I think that's kind of like, especially with Oswald, that's kind of like the thing that we're kind of seeing too, where it's like, well, is it a kid's book? Is it an adult book? I mean, is the themes in it? Like, do you consider yourself doing, like you're doing a book for kids, but you're not really?
Yeah.
Just brought his project up from Kickstarter, though he has stopped the project. That doesn't mean it goes away.
Right. So, well, how much money was he asking for and raised? I mean, I don't know, like,
he had $1,000 goal. He raised 3,653 so far. Had 103 backers, so it wasn't a failing or a slouching campaign at all.
So why did he stop it?
He wanted to concentrate more on putting it on webtoons and catering specifically to 12 to 18-year-olds. So what he said that he wanted to do was work backwards. He wants to do webtoons, then offer up PDFs on Gumroad, and then do a campaign for a larger book, as opposed to doing this. I guess he just had to change. He decided that this strategy wasn't what he wanted to do.
I mean, if that's what works for him, I mean, I think
that's the thing. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, you have to try something. Like, obviously, the idea popped in his head from somewhere. So, I mean, you got to try it, before you disavow it, right?
Yeah, that's why I said we need to have him back on. We need to follow his line of thinking to see if it's successful, because you never know. He could be dead on the money.
I want to show you guys something. Speaking of webtoon, so Dreaded Dinosaur, and that's Eric Hodson, who does it came from Webtoon Show here on Indie Vault. This is the Dreaded Dinosaur webtoon, and he's got 7 issues up there right now. 116 subscribers, 2.4. So it's basically almost 3,000 views, 2.4K views. His rating is 9.46. So he's got more views than he's got subscribers, and
it's always going to happen.
All you have to do is click subscribe.
Yeah, no, it's like there's a huge percentage of people who are going to watch your videos and whatnot, but never subscribe. It doesn't surprise me is that it's the same thing on Webtoon.
Yeah.
When I was doing Webtoon, that was my experience. More people were reading it than subscribing. Yeah. And I think what it is that I wasn't in the right mindset for Webtoons when I did it. So I don't know. Yeah. Like I said, it did for me. So
now you look at that, and then we're gonna pop over to this loser who again, was like, I'm gonna steal his idea.
Oh.
And you pop over to this loser here, who's got 9 subscriptions, 209 views, 200 more people have looked at my book than subscribed to it, but I only got 1 issue. Mr. Rusty.
Yeah, but when's the last time you put anything up there?
Oh yeah. It's and this is I rushed to put this book together. I rushed. Look at that art. Oh. But
when did you put this up?
Oh gosh, how long has it been now? It's old. I have the second issue ready, just not colored. So
Then it's not. Then it's not ready.
November 4th. In November 4th, 2017. So me and Eric talked about that, and he said you need to go ahead and put the next issue up. But here's the thing: he says go ahead and do black and white. Don't color it.
Okay.
And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, don't color it. Just do black and white. You know, heck, you know what? I figured if I do black and white, and then I decide to do it as a trade, that could be the perk of the trade. It's color now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little weird, the whole thing between color and black and white, because what's the most popular thing today as far as comics?
Fur porn. Manga, that's right? What it is.
Fur porn.
No. Right here. I got it right here.
Good timing.
But manga's all in black and white, right? And I mean, the thing is that transition is yet to make it through in American comics. Black and white still looked down upon, whereas color comics is the goal. But in manga, which is selling 10 times what American comics is selling, if not a lot more, is all in black and white.
Yeah, but even then, because again, when I was on Webtoons, I always suspected that that my stuff wasn't, I guess, I don't know, doing something because it wasn't in color, which I found really strange because that's the demographic that grew up on manga. So it's so technically color shouldn't have been should have been a non-issue, or black and white should have been a non-issue. But I always had this suspicion that it's this stuff should have been in color if I was going to put it on Webtoons, and that only added to the amount of work. And
well, also the thing is you're doing straight pen and ink work, which is not something you typically see in manga. What you see is pen, ink, and grayscale. So you see
that was
and that sort of thing. So maybe that's something that scared them off. And just the amount of people on there is just crazy. The amount of work.
Massive,
just getting somebody to look at your stuff, I'm sure is a struggle in and of itself.
Pops sent me the adventures of Sig and Joe. It's a cigarette and a cup of coffee, coming soon to Webtoons.
There we go.
I think there's definitely a market there. People should look at it.
It's like milk and cheese.
There was a point where I don't want to say it was either Image or Top Cow. They had a book up there, and what they were doing was they were taking pages and panels and laying them out differently. And one page was a chapter, but it was already something that had been done. Now I went and looked up there for it. I subscribed to it, but it's gone now. It's gone. This is what Pop sent me. Sig and Joe. There's got his little character in there too. Having bacon. Apparently they're wait a minute. Is that so the coffee is smoking a cigarette and the cigarette's drinking the coffee? Cannibalism. Or
they're just eating each other.
It's not wink to their secret relationship. There we go. Also
some people do feel they go together.
Yeah. I will tell you this, by the way, guys, I found this in my memories, and I think Randy can agree with it. My son pointed this table out to me at an art store, which we won't name, but he pointed out to me. He says, "Daddy, this is years ago." He says, "You should have this for your fat belly," and it was brought to me, and I had a little bit more weight on me then, and I'm like, "What?" And I came on my Facebook memories, and here it is. That was the art table he suggested.
Well, that's
there you go.
I mean,
and I'm like, okay.
That's not a fat belly, son. That's an artist hump.
Yeah, exactly.
We've earned that. Took years to grow.
However, after looking at the table, like, that's not bad.
No, it's funny. I'm looking at it too, going, "Oh yeah, I understand that."
It's easier to rest your elbow on it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I could live with that.
Be surrounded by it
and kind of get in there a little bit more.
Yeah, you kind of put your hands up.
Get into your work.
Nothing wrong with that. Not because I'm fat.
That's how you know. That's how you know we're artists. So we're looking at that table, going, "Oh yeah."
Empyrean Vol says black and white is better. Hello all. Hello Empyrean. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're working on them roughs. Here we go. Agree. Thumbs up. I always felt like black and white was like serious comics, and later I sort of associated it with the McCloud masking effect. Sig and Joe just launched. Lunch. Shotgun Samurai is a good example of a black and white book on Webtoon, making a successful translation to print as we speak.
Yeah, we had him on that came from Webtoon.
Sick and Joe's up launch party episode 1. There we go. Sick and Joe. Dang, Varian destroyed by his own son.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, it was rough, man.
Black Belt says that's no art table. It's a TV dinner tray.
and we use that too.
yeah. I'm done.
That come in handy.
I'm done. I'm done with drawing for today. Just push it down and just you start eating. It's not a bad table though. I mean, I probably use it. It's just I have one of those glass tables. It's glass. It's all fancy. I have to Windex it off every now and again because of fingerprints and smudges. But
Jake in the house.
Yeah,
Jake. He's ready to hand over his money. Is that what that is?
No, it's waving.
Oh, it's waving?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Indie Vote Radio numbers I got. We are at 47,600. So thank you guys.
Tyler says, thanks for having me on for a bit. Buddy, you're always welcome to come in. And we especially want you to come back and report on your progress because you're interested. Like I said, you're thinking out of the box. So we need to hear back from you.
I never leave yourself. Yeah,
never leave yourself.
Yeah.
We actually did voiceovers of the first episode, Sig and Joe, for Williams' podcast. Yeah, there you go. All right. Cash hand over fisting. Yeah.
Well, hey.
Nice.
Everybody has their preferences.
JD, you're getting ready to close out a campaign.
I'm getting ready to close out a campaign. We're currently at about, I think the last I checked it was 2,800.
Mm-hmm.
The next stretch goes at 3K. And if we reach that goal, everybody's gonna get a metallic trading card.
Share the screen so they can see it. Yeah,
let me share this kind of with you guys. Well,
you got it. I was heading over there.
Card.
It's like listen to Dead Air. Listen to it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I know, right? Sorry.
Well, also, it's like because the other day I had to get on. I had to get on a call with Stamps.com because we were trying to figure out a technical issue. It turned out to be an Excel issue, but and the woman had to get into my computer to see what I was doing, and I forgot that I had a House of Bob folder on my desktop.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah, they made it.
Excuse the fur porn.
I was like, don't click on that. Don't click on that. Don't click on that.
And I want to ask you guys about that after. But this card, I looked at that, and Lola seen it last night, and she said, "Oh, that's a cover." I said, "No, it's a card," and she's like, "What? Why? That's a cover."
Yeah. It's both, actually. Yes. At one time, this was the cover to a story called "I Was There and I Remember." So we're doing a PDF level, right, where I'm giving away that story because that story has been out of print for a few years, and it's actually a very pivotal story. So I'm giving away the story. This is the cover to that story. But on top of that, Jade Gonzalez, my artist for the series, she's working on that story. I'm giving with that PDF. I'm putting in also the first 24 pages of that story as a free preview, fully lettered. So let me see. So that's the first page, and that's the second page. Just to let everybody know it. Just give everybody a quick preview of it. So they're gonna get the prose story and this first 24 pages. So they can do some kind of comparison between the two. Like how I changed the story from prose to comics. Because it was originally a prose story.
Yeah, I think I asked about that last time, and Daphne told me I'd have to ask you about those changes that you make between prose and the comic version, and like what you have to do. Has anything broke your heart yet?
No, not really. No, because I mean, I've been doing it for a while, so so making that transition usually doesn't hurt very much. So the only thing is that you lose in prose you put in. There's a lot more of the character in it because there's so much more thought in it, because you're living in the character's head. Because it's when I write for Oswald, it's all first person, which a lot of people consider no, but I enjoy it. But so you get a lot of what he's feeling emotionally. So sometimes that comes out, sometimes it doesn't, But overall, the entire story is there and it's intact.
Yeah, the reason I asked is because when I wrote a comic script that wrote as prose first, and then turned into a comic, I found myself taking stuff out that didn't make sense anymore. Right. And I was like, oh, this whole element has to go now. And it's too trippy. I'm not drawing that. That was awesome.
Also, the thing is that when you're doing prose, sometimes you'll be a little bit more self-indulgent with the scene. Mm-hmm. So you'll put in a scene that's way longer than you would put it in a comic book per se. The scene may stretch out because
JD is still on Windows 90.
What?
William Pace says JD is still on Windows 98. Is that what you're using? You're using a old copy?
Oh yeah. I'm using an old.
William, don't knock what works.
Exactly.
I still have a system here that works on Windows 98, and I have made a lot of money off of it. So
there you go.
I can tell you, don't knock what works.
Share page in the DMs. Did you share? Did you send a page to me? Let me take a look. Did you send it to me on Twitter? Twitter?
Probably.
Or did you message it to me? I'll take a look. Hold on.
Jake, hope your story's coming in soon.
Yeah, he said he shared a page in the DMs.
We're launching as soon as I'm done with this commercial job and can build a campaign. So
maybe he's sending it over now. That was the page, JD. Yeah.
Look at that. That looks just like Oswald.
Yeah. Exactly. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Awesome. I believe now
Eternity Light.
Now, how is it that with Daphne, you said you're doing you got the House of Bob stuff up, and Lola's like trying to, I guess she's gonna make adult comics like her thing. That's it. Do you have to worry about that? Do you have to? Are you worried about that? Are you? I'm
concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like because it's like I said, it's like I when people ask us like what are who are our comics for, it's like we kind of say 13 and up, but it's very reluctant, or at least for me it's very reluctant to say. It's like I would rather say like 17 and up, only because I don't want to worry about people's kids. I want to be able to sometimes just tell the story that I want without having to worry about, oh well, is this too much or this, that, and the other thing. I mean, House of Bob is obviously 18 up, so I'm not I'm not worried about people making that mistake with House of Bob. I mean, adult stuff is adult stuff. Is it harder for me to sell? Yeah, because people make assumptions. They it's like if House of Bob is next to Tall Tales, now they think Tall Tales is a porno comic.
Yeah.
So
you remember when we had Morgan on, and it was funny, JD. I don't know if you watched that show, but like Daphne was like right there, like, oh man, but she also felt bad because Morgan had stated how like he has to keep like stuff secret from his family, his job. Like they can't know like the artwork that he does, and you feel bad for him because it's
I mean, because it's like it's kind of like we were talking at the beginning of the show, that it's like people confusing media consumption with your personal morality, and it's kind of like this. It's kind of I guess it's kind of related, where it's like, oh, they can't know I do porn, or else they'll think I'm some kind of freak, and it's like, no, I just do porn. That's nothing special about it,
Well, go ahead, JD. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, I think what it is that most people who consider themselves adults aren't really adults.
Yeah.
They say, okay, well, you right are doing this thing, so you must be that thing, when we are many things, right? I can be an electrician, and I can be a painter at the same time. I can be and a musician, you understand, and I can walk a dog. I don't have to be just one thing pigeonholed into this, pigeonholed into the specific area. So I can do adult comics if I so choose, but I can also do something that's a little bit lighter hearted and fair.
Right.
You understand? So I mean, I think that's the problem, is that people just have that disconnect where they just can't separate those things. And I mean, for myself, I wrote some really hardcore stuff back in the day, but that's not something I'm doing today.
You should save that card. That could come in handy.
Okay. Well, because I Lola's doing research for her next project because she's like, Laura's finished. She's already on to the next project. Even though she hasn't launched the campaign yet, she's on the next project.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm already past issue 15.
Yeah. And so she's working on all this stuff, and I'm like, look, sweetheart, a little careful here. We got a kid in the house, and on top of that, like, don't leave your research paper. And then you write down, don't leave it around. The boy can read. He loves to read. I don't need him coming to me saying, "What's a cockhold?" It's like, oh no, what was that? That's fine.
It's your dad when he's acting up.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask Google. They'll ask too. They'll ask. She's gonna hear me. She's listening right now. So there it is. Stop listening. There she goes. Okay, I said the magic A name, and she was like, "Yes."
Right. Yeah.
Norm McDonald had a farm. Yeah. No.
Oh, it's just what's a what? What's a what?
Renaissance people. Yeah. I let me see. I'm waiting for that page from Jake because it's huge.
It says it doesn't work.
Let's see.
This file's too big. Quality drops massively when shrunk.
Oh well.
Here we go. I'm gonna put it up there just to embarrass him though. Hold on.
It's all effort.
I put it there. So the quality has dropped on this page, but look at that. That's pretty cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, Jake and Eric are like known for their zipatone dots, man, which I can't do. Why not? No one lets me do zipatone. No one. Eric showed me how to do it the other day.
Apparently, you need Clip Studio.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That. Clip Studio has all that.
Yeah. I get really upset that I can't.
But still, though, you kind of have to have the technique with the pen to really get it to look believable.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. Screw that, man. I'll learn eventually. Then I'll overuse it. Everyone pick on me.
Oh, but you were saying that Lola's having a problem, or
she's I think the problem might be mine because I'm like, hey, could you make sure that doesn't don't leave that laying around.
Well, yeah, okay, all right, yeah.
But two, the other thing is, and I worry about, and you tell me if you ever had that happen to you, is you draw that content, even if it's a commission,
right?
And then you get some person who believes, well, that is you, because I noticed like a guy can draw art that's erotic or whatever, and he might get labeled a perv, or he gets super success.
Right.
A female does it and she's weird, or this must be what she likes.
Yeah,
this must be what she wants.
Yeah, I've had people make that assumption about me, especially back in the fandom days. I've heard some interesting rumors spread. But
she got a fur costume in the closet, I heard.
Well, I mean, it's like, what's funny is that it always goes back to there was one particular defining incident where a dude almost had
JD
almost ended up with JD shoving a lamp up his ass because he thought it would be cute to try to get handcuffs on me in front of him.
I was about to go to jail that night.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what made him think that was like appropriate on any level, but actually no, it's like because he thinks like, oh well, you draw like this, you must be into that, right? And it's dude,
we have to see.
Not walking out of here.
We have to see if we can recreate that just so I can do this. Just so I can do this. Breaking news from the Queen's Comic-Con today. Former Indie Vote consultant JD Calderon assaulted an individual at the con. More details are coming as we. That would have been great, but no.
You knew the job was dangerous when you took it, Fred.
I was framed.
Sure.
Yeah, I like when they come in and say it's a former, so you know, like, when'd you fire him? About 2 minutes after we heard what he did.
Yeah.
Did you shove a banana up? It's not on stop.
So it's like, because I mean, it's like he was about ready to grab this lamp that was next to him.
How many years ago was this?
Years ago. Yeah.
Okay, so you were younger and more violent. You hadn't. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, Lola's first con somebody got. I think was it your first con somebody got a handful of butt. I was, or maybe second, but I remember she came. She had to tell me she was really upset because somebody touched her butt. They got themselves a nice Chicago. So yeah, somebody got themselves a nice palmful. However, I remember I took a friend of mine. I took her as a booth girl, very pretty girl. I used to tell her this, and I now thinking back on it, man, I owe her an apology. I used to tell her she was a. As if
calling them the call girls wasn't enough.
Yeah. I used to tell her she was a poor man's Scarlett Johansson to her face, and it was like, now that I think about that, like that was kind of mean. But
that's true. Nobody should be compared to Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. I shouldn't have said that. I should take her to dinner or something. Can I take her to dinner? Well, you can come. I just feel like I owe her an apology. I need to message her. But the thing was, I took her to a con, and this guy was walking around, the type of guy you'd see now in a Deadpool suit. He's walking around, he's high-fiving everybody. And as he gets to her, she high-fives him. It's her first con. He high-fives her, and he takes when his hand touches hers, he takes his arm back like this, and goes underneath with these two fingers and taps her on the front of her, her crotch area and groin, or let's say crotch area, and says "cooter," and takes off running. And she was so stunned. She just stood there, and I remember I don't think what had happened to her didn't even register 15 minutes later, where she was sitting there and she's like. I mean, obviously she was shocked.
Well, yeah, that's. But trust me, she registered.
Yeah, her eyes got glassy 15 minutes later, and I'm like, okay, we told security, we did tell security, and immediately after it happened. But she's dressed that way, and she's got on.
She'd have been within her right to deck him.
Oh yeah, she should have knocked the fuck out. But She didn't. Reporting from the scene where the incident occurred, several booth girls and sticky collectors were stunned and in awe of the street performance.
It's all art.
Yeah, that would have been cool because we could have had Jake to turn around. It's a madhouse here. I don't know.
So what's going
on? Nicholas Anthony Tucker says it's interesting as what you crave follows you, so you have to choose it if it's worth it.
Right, and and the funny thing is that it doesn't even have to. It's not even about how I feel about it. It's like how other people are reacting to it, and I have no control over how other people react to it. But it's I'm the one that has to take the brunt of it. Mm-hmm. I mean, even trying to just do mature themes. In a comic is it's weird. It's like even if we take the porn aspect out and just doing mature, themes where it's what's happening, but I like to bring up the orgy scene in ElfQuest, as the example that I'm running with. It's not like she went all Larry Flint on it. It's in context with the rest of the series, but like I said, people bugged out about that, but it's part of the story. I
worry about some of the fans who get hung. I got a buddy who's a big It fan, and he's been upset with both movies because he says they don't have the orgy in there, and I'm like, they're not going to. They're not going to ever.
Right? Yeah. It's because no, they're not good. No one is going to. Nobody is going to film an orgy of 13-year-olds. Okay. No. Yeah. So it's he needs. You kind of need to get past that.
Yeah. It's sometimes the fans are even worse.
No normal person wants to see that.
I mean, it's but the thing is though, in the book itself, it's in the book, but it's it's a different experience. said, like reading Lolita, it's a different experience, you know. So it's like, but I think what happens is that with comics, people already automatically like, as much as they like to say that comics are for, you know, like adults, it's like what JD says. Well, it's adults who are still children, you know, mentally, you know. So we're not talking about, you know, like actual mature people looking at each comic in its own context. They're looking at comics and going, oh, this is for kids, right? You know, they're looking at this behind me. It's like, oh, this is for kids, right? And I'm like going, oh, I really don't want to say that it is. It's like, can they watch Lord of the Rings? And it's kind of like, that our half-hearted marketing thing. It's like, can they watch Lord of the Rings? I mean, you know.
By the way, I got to put this up there.
Okay.
Jake says, feels good to have the European weirdo license.
It's true. It's true. I mean, it's like I look through the European comics that I have, the French comics that I have, and the way that they're just casual about everything.
And Jake is our European weirdo.
Yeah.
And with that being said, here we go. He has his own graphic here. When he says something totally outlandish in the chat, we have to make sure we put that up.
But you know, so that's
but I bet you wish you could upgrade to the Japanese weirdo license.
Well,
that's even beyond that. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, just to like be able to have like literally like different types of comics without people having an overall stereotype of the medium. You know,
I think one of the issues is that, you know, again, we're pigeonholed in a thing where everybody thinks comics are superhero comics, right, in America, right? So since we don't have, like in Japan, you have boy comics, you have girl comics, you have, you know,
you've always had that variety for
you had that huge variety where we don't have that. We don't have that segmentation where it's like, okay, these are adult comics, these are this types of comics, and so on and so forth. The closest we came to is just having Marvel and DC, and then we have Vertigo, right, which presented something that was a little bit more adult, and then you had everybody else.
Yeah, that nipple destroyed Janet Jackson's career. So yeah,
it's all about the nipple. Show a nipple in the States, apocalypse.
Yeah.
It works.
Look, never mind. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
And anymore, you can even give a hint of nipple, and it's somebody.
Look, I mean, it's like, look, the way people freaked out over that Batman comic that was marked as an adult's comic, and everybody freaked out, you know, because Bruce Wayne was naked, you know.
But in truth, it should have never have happened. It should have never happened. It should have never gone past editorial. It's a Batman comic. It's specifically made. It was specifically made for 10-year-olds. I mean, it's you know, it's just the trash from DC. Like, why even put it out there?
Right.
That's not what
well, they put it out there to get the reaction that it got.
Yeah.
They weren't stupid.
Yeah, but it was never the original intention of the creators that this is what it was supposed to be.
No.
I mean, you know, if you want to do porn, go do porn. Yeah. It's very easy. If you want to make an adult comic, go make an adult comic. It's very easy. You don't have to put it in Batman.
Back in the late 70s, DC proposed doing a rating system so that they could have multiple tiers of superhero comics.
Maybe they should
everything from kids to teens to adults. And you know who shot that down? Frank Miller.
Really? That's fun.
Said you were pigeonholing the art form.
Right. And now we have
go back and look it up.
Right, but now we have this confusion. But the thing is, but that's also the thing, though. It's like, so we have this confusion where it's like, well, you're either doing kids comics or you're doing porno.
Yeah.
You know, when it's like, I kind of like, well, what about here? What about here?
Like, what about an art form?
Here? Yeah.
Randy,
where you have everything.
Randy, you said that. You said that, and I couldn't tell if you were in agreement with what Frank did or disagree.
I totally disagree.
Yeah, I
totally
disagree
because
too.
And granted, yes, you would have had your 3 pigeonholes, but you would have been able to stretch the art form within those holes. It's much the same way that people are complaining we need to bring back the comic code. Oh,
well, no, bringing back the comic code is a completely different issue. Yes. Yeah, no. Having a rating system and the comics code are 2 different things.
But who says you got to bring back the comics code?
No, there are people who are.
There are people out there that want to bring back the comic code.
Yeah.
You know, he's in the chat. If he's in the chat, I'm not sure. He'll see this later. Art Belfield, who we know is he does stuff. He does stuff to.
He's not writing comics anymore.
Yeah, he suggested at one point. He might remember. He suggested at one point on his Facebook, bring back the comic code.
No.
It's like, dude, do you know what the comic code actually was?
I think Art was trolling.
Yeah,
Of course.
But still, though, it's like the problem is that good satire is indistinguishable from the thing they're actually satirizing, and people took that seriously, and there are people who want that to happen.
The bad thing with the direct market in general, it's like what JD says. We pigeonholed, they pigeonholed themselves. We pigeonholed ourselves down to a superhero market. That was it.
Right.
Instead of trying to stretch out. That's why manga took off the way that it did here, especially when it came to young female readers. It's because there's material out there that was made for them.
Yeah, also that's why it's called manga and not comic books, because they made sure to make that distinction between the two.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Like, this is something different. This is something new. This is not the stuff your parents read. This is for you.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's the big difference.
And again, back on that soapbox, now is the time to start changing all those perceptions. What a better time to be doing alternative and independent comics and trying to get out there in front of as many eyes as possible.
Pops wants to know how many people are paranoid and turn their cameras toward the blank wall when not streaming like him. I have a little.
I do. Yeah, I do.
I have a little sheet that I can, not a sheet, but a little flap that I can put down in front of the camera. Jake says, Imperial Vault, I 4D chess move that and claim internet weirdo license.
Right.
Russ says, oh, Pops, yes, I do.
Yeah.
It's ironic that America is the most uptight about sex, and yet it is the
that's the whole irony of it.
Yes,
that's the whole irony of it. Yeah.
That way, guys. I know we got to start getting out here, but I want to run through these real quick. Brian Germain says, if someone wants to know if they're for kids, you should ask Depends. Will you let your kid watch Game of Thrones?
I mean, the thing is, the funny thing is that, you know, Tall Tales doesn't go that way either. So it's just like really complicated. It's like, well, I don't know. How about you as a parent actually read the comic before you give it to your kids and make a decision based on that?
Yeah,
that would be a small
you know.
Subway says, I come back from getting my pizza, and Randy's talking about stretching 3 holes.
Sorry, Kino. Gotta stretch them holes. I was talking artistically, my friend.
Naked Flintstones. There we go.
Flintstones, yeah.
Arthur was trolling on that post to get people's reactions. Says,
but there's that. But unfortunately, there are people who take that seriously because that's exactly what they want to see. You know, it's like having a rating system so that people will know, like, okay, this book has, you know, sex or violence or whatnot, and you make a decision based on whether you want to see that or not. That's different than an authority saying, well, you have to portray these types of events in a very particular way that broadcasts the morality of, you know, of these, you know, of what you're trying to put. I mean, it's like, no, that's not what we want.
Yeah. Well,
I would be more than happy to say that my book has, like, you know, sex, violence, drugs, and rock and roll in it. But don't tell me that it's like, oh, but you have to write it a certain way in order to get this approval.
We'll get the MPA in comics in no time.
Yeah.
We'll start. I know Randy has to get out here first. So Randy, we'll start with you, sir. Where do you be found online?
You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter under Randy Zimm. You can find me on Facebook under Randy Zimmerman. And you can find me at the Arrow Comics 4.0 page on Facebook, where we'll be making some very serious announcements soon, very soon, and the Arrow Comics 4.0 channel on YouTube. Plus, I'm here on Indie Volt, and our next show will be Sunday morning at 9 a.m. with the Sunday Funnies program, where we'll be talking about the lighter, more whimsical side of comics.
That's right. That's right. And I am excited to see what you got going on. People, Rand doesn't tell me anything because he knows I'm like Tom Holland. I'll leak shit. I'll say stuff.
I stopped telling people what, you know, anything until they need to know it, because for some reason or other, everybody thinks that any idea you float out there is open game.
Oh boy.
Nobody has any respect for people's ideas anymore, it seems. So I stay quiet.
He doesn't tell me anything. I'm like, oh, you're doing that?
I'm not talking about you.
No. But he didn't tell me because, you know, I'll be like, I'll do by accident. Like, hey, Randy, tell him about the image deal you just signed.
And when you point out, well, I had that idea, or I announced that idea 2 months ago, they go, well, that's flag planning. Yeah. Okay.
I just like know that my wife tells me I do it all the time too. She doesn't tell me about gifts we got for the kid or anything like when it's Christmas time, because
there's some awesome stuff coming up though.
She's like, shut up, you're gonna tell everybody. Yeah. So Randy, I know you got it. If you gotta leave, we'll see you when you get back. I know you said you had to get.
You guys still gonna keep talking? Yeah, I actually have to go get my license renewed.
Right. Well,
for that appointment I had to make 5 freaking months ago.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna let
COVID. Anyway.
Well, yeah, we're rounding down here. So, Daphne, where can you be found at, man?
Oh, you can find me at my main website, eagleworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can read the first 5 issues of Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, for free. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more action-oriented, you can head over to Tall Tales, TAILS, online.com, where you can read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, which, by the way, sign up for our newsletter because we are releasing the first volume of Tall Tales from the very beginning on Kickstarter in sometime in March. We don't have an exact date yet, but it's coming. So we can all be on the same page when we're talking about Tall Tales, and you all know what I'm talking about. So head on over to EagleWorks and follow all the links and sign up.
Yeah.
NDA doesn't exist for some people. Well, neither does respect. So, but that's a whole nother matter. Joe?
And Mr. Calderon, where can you be found at, sir?
You can find me under JD Calderon on Facebook, Twitter, also on DeviantArt. And you can also go check out the Oswald Chronicles. We're down to hours. I think we're down to probably about 48 hours at this point. These are the 2 books being offered. There's also a chat book that's going up. And, so go check it out. Go fund the book. We have like 3 stretch goals to hit. Everybody's going to get a sticker. There's a special PDF. And if we reach 3K, we'll get that metal trading card.
Over on Kickstarter, correct?
Excuse me? Yeah, all on Kickstarter. Yes,
yeah, all over on Kickstarter. Go check that out. Down to hours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Jake says, sleep well, little people. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We tried.
Of course, you can find
sleep. What's that?
Yeah.
Us back here. I got a couple shows I'll be doing. I'll be doing I'll be a part of CromCon this weekend. I got part of the ICAs where I'll be giving out some of the crowdfunding achievements, and then I'm going to be on William Pace's podcast. I believe that's Friday. So yeah, I've got a lot of stuff this weekend. Varian Grant on social media, KYD_V on Twitter. Last Call Comics is my publishing company. LEDG.US when you're looking to get your comics, your independent comic in comic book stores. It's very easy. Just go over to LEDG.US and sign up. Here it is right there. LEDG.US, sign up. Also, make sure you sign up for the Liberty Entertainment Distribution. The Indie Vote Comic Book Awards. I'm gonna run that bumper very quickly. Here we go. So yeah, pop over there and check that out. Liberty Entertainment Distribution Group, of course. You're gonna want to be a part of that very quickly.
US.
Go check that out as well. Find me a personal website at whenweriot.com. The unfortunately named whenweriot.com. Last Call Comics, all that good stuff. Guys, we're gonna get out of here. Yeah, that's it for us this week.
Sunday
Funnies.
Sunday, 9 a.m.
Sunday, yeah.
Randy, Daphne
might have an incredibly special interview. If not this Sunday, then next Sunday for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So you'll want to watch these shows. It's gonna
be
good.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, Daphne's got something special she's gonna be showing us. It's gonna be awesome. All right, guys. So you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you back here real soon.
Ciao.
Take care, everybody. Stay healthy. You want me to take us out?
Sure, go ahead.
I can take us out.
Bang, bang, bang.
Bang, 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 bang. Here we go.
about what you've accomplished.
Drop the taco. Get in the car.
Did you draw the Flintstones naked?